only got one thing to say. Hell yeah! First time this season that all my teams won. BYU won on Saturday night in overtime thriller against Arizona. Double overtime at that. Falcons won last night against Buffalo. And my fantasy team won by 33 points. Scored the highest in the league, 155, thanks to an absolutely otherworldly performance by Bijan Mustard. Put him in your OPOY and MVP talks. We already went through college. Now it's time for the NFL. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Grizz, and we have got Week 6 NFL reactions. It was close game city this week. And if you are still looking for that Season 2 playlist, I'll have it in the description. Make sure you go check that out. You can have every single episode in Season 2 so you're all caught up, and you also have it for future episodes. Also, do not forget to hit the red subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos, and it helps the channel a lot. By the way, congratulations, we have the magic number of subscribers, 69, baby. Can only go up from here, and yes, I'm in double digits again for my win-loss record on Pick'em. But anyways, without further delay, let's go react to the Week 6 game, shall we, in the NFL. Starting this week off, we got Thursday Night Football, where the Eagles got blown out by the Giants, 34-17. I guess it was in MetLife, but still, man, 34-17, 17-point game. Philadelphia has now lost 2 in a row. And I think I speak for a lot of people, except for maybe Eagles fans, but this offense is just abysmal to watch. You know, Jalen Hurts, he was okay, 283 yards, touchdown and interception, also ran for a touchdown. But yeah, 4 straight tush pushes, man. Like, I know you got a rugby offensive lineman, but you don't have to make the whole sport rugby. But anyway, Saquon Barkley, man, he's getting less and less production than he had last year, as we now realize it. Matt Covercurse really declined his production. Oh yeah, by the way, the touchdown pass was literally just a shovel to Dallas Goedert, who had 9 catches for 110. And also, A.J. Brown, welcome back. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. Not having Jalen Carter in your defensive line really could change the game. As for the Giants, can we please show some damn respect for Jackson Dart? Guy absolutely balled out again. Well, more or less, but he was actually pretty good. Almost 200 yards passing, also ran for a touchdown, even threw one to Wan'Dale Robinson, who had 6 catches for 84. But the MVP of this game is absolutely 100% the 100-yard performance and 3 touchdowns for Mr. Cam Scatterboo. The entire fantasy football league that I'm in will forever rue the day they passed up on Scatterboo and let me get him off of waivers. Also, I think a lot of people saw Russell Wilson throw 1 incompletion and then he got booed. He sped, ran, booed, and then Brian Dable demanded that Jackson Dart go back out there. That was pretty funny and also a little fucked up. For the defense, hell of a game for Brian Burns, getting 2 sacks, interception for Cordial Flaw. He actually almost took it all the way to the house. That looked like a pick-six kind of interception Jalen Hurts threw. It was just the Giants just completely controlled the entire game. It's going to be a very blessed day for Giants fans in the NFC East meeting. Yeah, take notes, Scooter. On this episode of Tea, Crumplets, and Football, we had the Denver Broncos win an ugly game against the New York Jetties. 13-11, also further proven that the NFL should never go to London ever again, because this was disgraceful. This looks like a goddamn table tennis match score that went to sudden death. I'ma keep it short and sweet. The Jets defense actually had some life, while the Jets offense did not. I mean, seriously, this was abysmal! Garrett Wilson is reliving his life decisions and is regretting every single bit of going to the Jets. Safe to say the Broncos offense didn't do much either, Bo Nix threw the only touchdown to his fullback. Well, that's a game in London for you. Oh yeah, and you know why the Jets offense was just so beautiful? 9 sacks for Denver. And also the Jets literally had 80 total yards. Hold on, let me repeat that. 80 total yards. -10 net passing yards. Another abysmal game in the great country of England. Never show this game ever again and fuck off. Now that that's over, next up we got the Seahawks beating Jacksonville 20-12. A little bit of an ugly game, but hey, good win, Seattle. Rushing game was absolutely atrocious. It's a good thing Sam Darnold is as good as he is. Nearly 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Cooper Kupp had a touchdown, but Jackson Smith-Njigba is turned into his favorite target by a country mile. 8 catches for 162 and a score. Shaquille Griffin and Nick Manwari are playing actually very well, and the defense as a whole got 7 sacks. 2 for Lawrence, 2 for Murphy, and 1.5 for Nwosu. Woo! They were getting to Trevor Lawrence. For Jacksonville, despite all the flops in the protection, Trevor Lawrence didn't have a bad game. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he had to play pretty good because the run game absolutely horrible. I'm not gonna lie, that Seattle run defense looks legit. It's a good thing that Brian Thomas showed up, 8 catches, 90 yards in a score, and Travis Etienne had to make up for his lackluster rushing game for his receiving. Oh yeah, and Tim Patrick had a touchdown. Devin Lloyd being out was actually kind of Jacksonville's downfall. Foye Oluokun had a solid game, sack for Eric Armstead, but other than that, yeah, defense was not it. Don't let this loss, ruin your season, Jacksonville. You still got a really good team. You just got beat by a better one. Up next, we got the Chargers surviving the Dolphins 29-27. No, seriously, Miami actually showed a lot of fight in that fourth quarter. But, man, I heard that it were negative yards for the Dolphins and 0 points. Oh, dear. That was literally what cost them the game. Also, man, I gotta talk about this Miami defense. This defense is absolutely abysmal. I know the Jets defense is terrible, but Miami is definitely like a close third or fourth, maybe even second. Allowed Kamani Vidal, third-string running back, to get 120 yards on the ground, and also catch a touchdown. Justin Herbert, 264 yards, 29-38, and 2 touchdowns. And one of those long receptions for Lam McConkey, Miami forgot how to tackle. Johnson was injured in this game, much to my dismay, but at least Matt McConkey made up for it by getting 100 yards, 7 catches, and a touchdown. Also, tight end Aronde Gadsden, quietly stealing targets from McConkey. And also Keenan Allen, he only had 4 catches at the same stat line as Trey Harris. The good news for the Chargers is that when they were able to get 2 sacks, is that Odafe Oweh on the Chargers? Baltimore! And also, along with that, 3 interceptions, including 1 at the end of the game by Derwin James. Also, I need to give my flowers to freaking Dicker the kicker. 5 field goals, including the game winner. Got 17 points for me. Woo, baby. I'm glad I got him as a kicker and not the other Cam. For the Dolphins, Tua, no, not a good game at all. 1 touchdown, 200 yards, 3 interceptions. At least Devon Achane is elite. Want to guess who that touchdown went to? The 1 touchdown Tua threw? That went to Darren Waller. That's his 4th touchdown in 3 games he's played for the Dolphins. Yeah, this Miami offense, aside from Achane, Jalen Waddle, and Darren Waller, sometimes Ollie Gordon, is very tough to watch. At least it's not as bad as the defense, because this defense absolutely blows ass cheeks. Yeah, man, after that 3-0 start, Chargers have just gotten complacent. Safe to say they were frauds. Come on now, LA, get your head out of your ass. Speaking of LA, this was almost as bad as the London game, but the Rams beat the Ravens 17-3. Dude, the Ravens offense makes the Jets offense actually look like one of the best offenses in the NFL. And the funny part is, the defense is 1,000 times worse. Cooper Rush sucked ass again. It took a benching and a starting of Tyler Huntley to get the offense kind of going just a little bit. King Henry, of course, 120 yards. Welcome back. I know the Ravens defense got 2 sacks, but they were just getting outmatched every single play of the game. The Rams, I know they didn't really need to do too much. Stafford, 180 yards, a touchdown to Tyler Higbee. Herb Puka did get injured in this game, but it turns out he was just fine. Kyron Williams had an insane catch where he, fell to the ground, but also caught it, and also ran for a touchdown. And as for the Rams defense, 4 sacks, 2 for Byron Young, and also an interception by Quentin Lake. He also had a fumble recovery. Not only was I not expected the Ravens to be terrible, I was not expected them to be 1-5 ass. Coming up next, we have the Cardinals almost defeated the Indianapolis Colts 31-27. Wow, I'm surprised by this score. A little bit of a cold take in my opinion. I think Jacoby Brissett looks better in the Cardinals offense than Kyler Murray ever did. 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, interceptions. Zonovan Knight ran for a score. Yeah, his favorite receivers apparently were Trey McBride and Zay Jones. Greg Dortch had a touchdown, and Marvin Harrison only 2 catches. Oof. But yeah, besides a Mack Wilson interception and a sack by Barry Browning, this defense looks absolutely awful. Another guy we need to start showing some respect to is Daniel Jones. Guy is consistently one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. 212 yards, pretty accurate, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Also ran for a touchdown. I would literally put this guy in second or third in the MVP conversation right now. Jonathan Taylor is just freaking him. 6 yards to carry, 123 yards in the score. Tyler Warren was Daniel Jones' favorite target this week. 6 catches, 63 yards in the score. Josh Downs got the only other touchdown pass. Defense was surprisingly not great, but Jermaine Pratt, Zaire Franklin were tackling machines. 2 sacks for Quiddy Pay, interception by Mekhi Blackman. Key stops were able to keep the Cardinals from beating them. And now the Colts are number 1 in the entire AFC. Not just the AFC South, the entire AFC. Nuts. Now we move on to a game that was probably my funniest moment of the week and also my least favorite moment of the week. And that was Cowboys inexplicably losing to Carolina 30-27. The same Panthers that go to complete shit in the first quarter, and then Bryce Young all of a sudden plays well for 3 other quarters. Maybe 4 if there's overtime. I don't know what the hell happened this week. The Russian offense was absolutely non-existent. Dak had to put the team on his back once again. Dude, just imagine if he had a competent defense. He would be in MVP conversation right now as well. George Pickens, 9 catches, 168 yards and a touchdown. Other touchdowns went to Hunter Lepke and Jake Ferguson, the 2 tight ends. But yeah, besides an interception by Donovan Wilson, Shamar James is pretty good at tackling. Yeah, this defense, non-existent. It's been that way all season. You know what would be nice? Having Michael Parsons out there on your team. Good job, Jerry. For the Panthers, Bryce Young, under 200 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. I think he threw that interception in the first quarter. 3 touchdowns in the other 3 quarters. Rico Dowdle just being otherworldly again. Second straight week he's had 200-plus scrimmage yards. This time he had 183 rushing, 56 receiving, and also a score. Where did the other 2 touchdowns go to? That would be Ted McMillan. I mean, I get it. The Panthers' defense is also ass as well, but they're also Ryan Fitzgerald, who was a clutch kicker for the Panthers. 3 field goals made, including the game winner, to win the game over Dallas. You know what? I'm going to just start calling you the Dallas Fraud Boys because that's what you are. You're a bunch of frauds and you guys are ass. Next up, we got the Patriots beating the Saints 25-19. I told you guys, Saints are not the worst team in the NFL. They show a lot more fight than people realize. And also Spencer Rattler, oh boy, man, you are trying to make sure New Orleans does not get your replacement. Let's just hope Saints ownership doesn't, completely screw you over. I need to say it, Drake May is one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC along with Daniel Jones. And also Patrick. Rushing game wasn't that great, Ramondre Stevenson was absolutely awful. So Drake May had to put the team on his back again with the passing game. Also, who needs elite receivers when you got Drake May throwing to Keyshawn Butte and Demario Douglas? 160 total yards, 8 catches, and 3 total touchdowns. Pretty decent game defensively, 2 sacks, a forced fumble as well. Christian Gonzalez being back is really helpful, and Spillane having another pretty good tackling week. I know the Saints only got 1 touchdown from, of course, the Swiss Army knife, the Mormon missile Taysom Hill, but Spencer Rattler was actually pretty accurate in this game. 227 yards, 20 and 26. Rushing game, besides that Taysom Hill touchdown, was absolutely awful. Besides Spencer Rattler. And then also receiving, Chris Olave's back to a pretty nice wide receiver, one roll with 100 yards on 6 catches. Yeah, the Saints defense, besides Peyton Warner's sack, just could not stop Drake May. Shout out to Blake Griffin for getting 4 field goals though. Patriots have a pretty easy schedule coming up, and also for New Orleans, pretty good fight. Yeah, good luck next week. Who do y'all play next week? Chicago? Oh dear. Next up, we got the Steelers beating the Browns 23-9. Yeah, not a single touchdown from Cleveland, just field goals. As far as the run game, it wasn't completely awful, 8.5 yards to carry, 4 yards to carry, 3 yards to carry. It wasn't bad, but then you forced Dylan Gabriel, a rookie quarterback in his second start, to throw 52 times. This is exactly why the Browns are one of the worst teams in the league. At least Hannah Fannin looks like a very good tight end. Not even the defense could save this team from obscurity because they didn't even get to Rodgers a single time. Speaking of Aaron, he threw 235 yards, 21-30 for 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid. That DK Metcalf connection is definitely paying off. 4 catches, 95 yards a score. The other touchdown going to tight end Connor Hayward. Interesting. Also, Pat Freiermuth, 1 catch. I cannot believe I drafted him in fantasy football. And for all those Shador fans that want to see him play, he would not have lasted a minute under that offensive line. 6 sacks, 2 from Ramsey, 2 from Herbig. And yeah, 6 total sacks in this game. Absolutely atrocious. This was just ugly as it gets, and the Steelers are just going to limp their way to win the division. Next up, we got the Titans losing to the Raiders 20-10. Fuck this game. It's just every year, every single game I see, the Titans offense just plays like absolute dog shit. Like, I get it, a touchdown pass for Cam Ward, an interception, 220 yards, it's the same shit. Rushing game was okay, but you want to take a guess at who got the freaking touchdown? Guy by the name of David Martin Robinson. And a couple sacks for the Titans defense, 2 of them to be exact. Interception by Cody Barton, almost had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, had they called that the right way, and somehow L'Jarius Sneed wasn't asked? Oh yeah, Geno Smith, yeah, guess what? He was even worse. Well, the QB rating doesn't say that, but yeah, less yards, same touchdown-interception ratio, and by the way, Geno Smith has now thrown 10 interceptions in 6 weeks. Michael Mayer, of course, getting the touchdown. I like him. Brock Bowers' injury definitely helping him with the production. Trey Tucker, 70 yards, and I heard that we were in talks of Jacoby Myers trade for Kirk Cousins. Interesting. I'll be honest, Vegas, I don't think he would last a minute on that offensive line. He'll be right back in the IR if you trade for him. But please take him off our hands. We desperately need it. Well, at least we got Easton Stick. Other than that, Ashton Gente looked good again. And then there was the defense that was led by Max Crosby's 2 sacks, 5 total sacks, and Devin White. Fumble recovery and an interception in the game. Oh, sorry, not a fumble recovery, a forced fumble. Get this game on my screen. Next up in the 4 o'clock slate, we had the 49ers losing to the Tampa Bay Bucks 30-19. I knew the 49ers were meant to a major roadblock. Oh, I forgot to mention, that last game got Brian Callahan fired. Yep, he's the first NFL coach to get fired. It was not Brian Daboll or Stefanski or Mike McDaniel. Or even Aaron Glenn. How did a 1-win Titans coach get fired before Aaron Glenn? Enough about that news, and now 49ers ran into a major roadblock because Fred Warner broke his ankle and he's out for the year. Sucks, man. The guy was a BYU guy. He was the best middle linebacker in the league, and now he's hurt. Already lost Joey Bosa, now you lost Fred Warner for the year. But yeah, other than the 2 interceptions, I mean, offensive line absolutely was abysmal. So was the play calling. Matt Jones threw for 347 yards, made Kendrick Bourne look like an all-pro wideout. McCaffrey had the only touchdown in the game on the ground, and he also did well in the receiving game as well. I'm starting to see more and more that a defense without Nick Bosa is not going to be successful, and you add the injury to Fred Warner, makes him even worse. I'm sure you're real happy about Eddie Pinheiro. Also, fuck Eddie. As for the Bucs, Baker Mayfield was very accurate, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17-23. Rachaad White and Sean Tucker both gaining touchdowns in Bucky Irvin's absence. 2 touchdowns went to Cam Johnson and Tez Johnson. No Evans, no Godwin, no Ibuka. Yeah, he got hurt in this game. No problem. Who needs Evans, Godwin, or Ibuka when you got Baker fucking Mayfield? Baking a dozen scores a game. Also, the Bucs defense was just absolutely ridiculously good. I think they got like 6 or 5 sacks, 2 interceptions by Jamel Dean and Kendall Vilder. Also, Kendall Vilder was stumbling all over the field after he got that interception. What the hell? And now Brock Purdy is coming back with an offensive line that looked like complete shit against Tampa Bay, and maybe George Kittle comes back as well. I'm afraid it's too late, gentlemen. You're already screwed because your defense is completely fucked. And the final game for the Sunday evening slate, we had the Bengals lose to the Packers 27-18 in what was an ugly game again from Green Bay. How did the Packers defense only get 1 sack on Joe Flacco? 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29-45. Rushing game as always was abysmal. I mean, Chase Brown did a little better, but still. Well, Jamar Chase finally has a competent quarterback again, and he's got 10 catches, 94 yards, and a score as his prize. T. Higgins looks pretty happy too. Oh yeah, and Tanner Hudson also scored a touchdown. And also the Bengals defense was led by Geno Stone and Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight. Was Trey Hendrickson hurt? It turns out he was, and Evan McPherson, 2 missed field goals. Yikes. Also, Ryan Rako, you are absolutely the best punter in the NFL right now, as far as how the Bengals offense has been playing lately. Again, another sloppy game for Green Bay, especially from Jordan Love. 259 yards, a touchdown, a pick. 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. He was the only guy who could really get going. Also along with Matthew Golden somehow and Tucker Kraft. Why the fuck did Matthew Golden play so ass in the first 2 games, and now all of a sudden he wants the ball? And once again, a very abysmal performance from what should have been a good defensive performance for Green Bay. Especially with how ass the offensive line has played all season. Man, Joe Flacco, I wish you won this game, but Green Bay, yikes. You guys are complete frauds. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Lions 30-17 thanks to the fact that Kansas City had 0 flags. Not even kidding. Look up the stat sheet. Kansas City had 0 penalties called against them. 4 against Detroit. Sound a little fishy? I know there's no fish teams on here, but still. Jared Goff had a pretty solid game. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns as far as accuracy. Should have had a touchdown reception if the referees and the no fun league didn't step in. Rushing game was pretty solid. Jahmyr Gibbs was getting going, so was David Montgomery. Touchdowns went to Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. Mona St. Brown had 9 catches as well, and no touchdowns? Defense didn't play completely awful. I mean, they got 3 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. Anzalone was a tackling machine. It was just when it came down to the second half, that's when Detroit faltered. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, 250 yards. The guy is back to MVP form. Also ran for a touchdown. As far as receiving, Xavier Worthy had a touchdown. Travis Kelce led receiving with 6 catches for 78 yards. Mr. Swift getting it done again. And 2 touchdowns for Hollywood Brown because the Detroit Lions refused to cover him. Defense stepped up at key moments despite only getting 1 sack. And nice game from Chamari Connor as well, 9 tackles. But what the hell has happened to Georgia Tech kicker Harrison Butker? Guy missed an extra point this game. But I said on Wednesday, don't count this team out because this team is not going 2-4. They were going to come back with a vengeance, and that's exactly what they did. Even if the Chiefs, kind of get away with some penalties, but ultimately ended with a big fat donut. Next up, the first of the doubleheader on Monday night. Buffalo Bills 4-1 loses to the Falcons 24-14. This also means the Patriots took first place in the AFC East. They're back. But seriously, Buffalo, I saw the game. It doesn't look like that great of a domination, but this Buffalo team only scored on the first drive of every single half. Yeah, not kidding. Both halves, they only scored on the first drive. Josh Allen had a rough game. 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And I may be wrong, but I think the Falcons defense was the only team in the NFL to only allow quarterbacks under 200 yards in every game. And they played 5 of them. That's pretty impressive, man. But yes, the run game definitely cooked us. James Cook, 87 yards. He started off slow, but then in the second half, he got it going. Josh Allen, of course, torched us in the run game. But yeah, the loss of Kincaid definitely hurt Buffalo big time. 2 touchdowns from Dawson Knox and Ray Davis, but no player had more than 3 catches. And without Matt Milano, defense didn't look that great. Second half, they were okay, but yeah, first half was just forgettable. 2 sacks on the game, but yeah, not good at all. For the Falcons, Penix was okay, 250 yards, a touchdown pass. Bijan went nuclear, 240 total yards, a touchdown on the ground. Algier also had a touchdown on the ground. Drake London also went nuclear, 10 catches, 158 and a score. But goddamn did we show up on defense. 4 sacks on poor Josh Allen, 2 interceptions from Alford and Malone. Defense carried us this game. And yeah, every single week after we cut Younghoe Koo, I am just wondering, how did we fumble the bag by releasing him? I still miss him, man. But this was a huge win for the Falcons. How in the hell, though, do they go from getting shut out by Carolina to beating not one, but two conference championship teams from the year before. Crazy. Oh boy, and finally, in the second Monday night game, Bears beat the Commanders 25-24, meaning that I went 0-2 on Monday Night Football. But seriously, how did Washington fumble the bag in this one? Caleb Williams was solid, 250 yards, a touchdown, but the MVP of this game, one of them has to go to DeAndre Swift. 170 total yards, 100 yards rushing, got a touchdown reception as well. 2 sacks on the game, interception by Brisker as well. Griffin Dexter also had 1.5 sacks in this game. Oh man, that was crazy. As far as the other MVP, that would go to Mr. Jake Moody. Bro went from getting cut to the 49ers earlier this year to nailing 4 or 5 field goals, including the game winner, to be a hero for Chicago. What a great story. But that game winner would not have happened if Jaden Daniels didn't fumble the handoff. I mean, come on. 3 touchdowns and interception. Pretty good solid performance, but then you choked in the end by fumbling the football. Rushing game was pretty solid. 60 for Krosky Merritt, 52 for Jaden Daniels. Touchdowns went to Chris Moore, 32-year-old wideout, by the way, Zach Ertz, and Luke McCaffrey. I mean, defense was okay. 3 sacks in the game, but yeah, just didn't do quite enough. Also, that also means the NFC East only winner in this week 6 is the Giants. Scooter, I cannot wait for that NFC East meeting to show up because, boy, do the Giants have a lot to say. Also, Ben Johnson, good job. You won 3 straight now. Keep that momentum going, brother. That'll do it for the Week 6 NFL reactions. That'll do it for this episode of Greasy Talks Football as well. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to get this a big fat thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Grizz signing off for now, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Grizzly vibes with you at all times. Take care.